I see is that mainly Vampire's melee strike does a heck of a lot more, especially the Reaver. The Reaver is the main class that I play as Vampire. Does a heck of a lot of damage to a Hunter in comparison to a Hunter's arrow shot by himself. But the thing that you have to remember when playing human side, as I'm now playing, which I have no clue, you know, I'm just going with the flow. I was all in this RPing mindset, you know, I am the hunter, I am the vampire. It's pretty much how I went into this thinking, you know, let me play like if I'm that person. You know, got munched up by that tyrant here. But so, yeah. So the thing you have to get is that your weapons might not do regular single damage as much as, let's say, one vampire's melee swipe at you. But the thing is you're not by yourself. You know, your attacks aren't significantly weaker, just slight bit less damage. Well, not slight, it's just not as much as what a vampire does with a regular melee attack, but you're not by yourself. So the damage you do, let's say I do 64 damage with one of my bolts, from what I remember as a hunter. If I have 3 other hunters with me, you can multiply that 64 times 4, and a vampire's health will go down pretty quick, remembering that a Reaver, from my perspective, when I first played, only had like 1,015 health or something like that. So he can go down pretty quick, and if he gets tied up or hit with an explosive shot, you know, he can kiss all that health goodbye. You know, it doesn't matter how much damage he has. I don't think he can really DPS as good as a hunter or a squad of hunters can. So, as far as I see with the game, no real balance issues. Mind you, we were getting tore up, but I mean, everybody is new, and that's pretty much how new games go, you know. Here I was testing to see if I could outrun that vampire, even though he was in evasion, but that clearly didn't end well. You cannot outrun them, you know, even though considering the vampires don't really have a sprint. Only way you can outrun them is if they're like trying to swing at you and you're too far away and you're literally full-blown sprinting away from them. And if you have a sprint upgrade, that helps. But yeah, you're not gonna get away from a vampire by just jogging with him, you know. Definitely not. So yeah. But as I was saying, you know, the game's not so much a class warfare. I haven't seen any class dominate another one. Like, I haven't seen sentinels getting sniped out of the sky by scouts. Mind you, even though it is possible, because, you know, scout shots do a lot of damage, especially when charged up. You know, and a sentinel is supposedly not exactly the toughest of the vampires, but again, I still don't see much difference in health between them all. You know, so it's literally in how you use their class. Because I mean, if you're flying in a straight line as a sentinel, yeah, you're gonna get shot out of the sky by a scout, or hell, even by any other of the classes if they can land a shot on you. Though I have found that as a hunter, the very first hunter class, I think he's just called the hunter. He, well, the siege bow anyway that I'm using, that I got from the tutorial, is not exactly the most accurate thing. So hitting something far away is not that easy. Though up close, if you're not aiming down sight, it's relatively easy and you just gotta manage the recoil. But yeah. So whether human or vampire, as long as you play to the strat of each individual one, you'll do pretty good. And then the only thing that comes down to it that separates you is the skill between teams. You know, even though the vampires, you would think vampires are solitary individual, at least that's my idea of vampires. The vampires can't just go running in willy-nilly one by one, because the hunters will just DPS them down immediately, so they won't last long going in one by one. You know. But if you go in together as a pack, you could say, with vampires, and pick off those like me here who got separated, you know, from being silly. I don't know why. As for how did I live through that, he like left me alone, or did I kill him? I didn't really see there what happened. But healing up, as soon as you gotta heal up, it's one of the only ways to keep it, you know, safe. Here I'm just running because I heard that guy behind me just ready to jump on me, and I was like, oh no. So yeah, I'm right here, I'm just scrambling to try to get back to my squad, not even sure if any of them are that much left, but at the same time avoiding vampires. Decided to chase after this alchemist, drop some explosive shots on the Reaver. Tyrant completely missed his charge. Not going so well for him. I can't remember who won on this, and mind you, this recording that I'm collecting here is using the what would I call it? It's, I guess it's something of what would I call this? It's not an exact recording of the game. It's mainly like the game is simulating the match that it saved in memory, kind of like a demo. It saves the game, how the game went down to memory, but one of the things that you do notice is that there are minor discrepancies, since it's just a resimulation of AI running around doing exactly what the players inputted, which mind you is a fine system, but you tend to notice some discrepancies when the match is simulating itself. For example, earlier, one of the first deaths I had as a Reaver, when I got killed by the hunters for being all alone, my head and some parts got blown off during one of the simulations. And when I went to retry to get this final recording that I have here, you see that pretty much my body was pretty much intact. So the game doesn't simulate everything exactly, but it pretty much has the most important things out of the way, like pretty much what each individual player was doing, and pretty much how the match, I mean, it doesn't tell you who wins or loses. You don't see the scoreboards or anything like that, which is why I'm kind of gonna opt out for just recording while I'm playing instead of this post, kind of using the I forget what they call it, the recom or something like that, or Nawcam or something like that, Gothcam. I don't know what they call it. But yeah, instead of using their replay system that they have, which mind you isn't bad because you can move the camera to other players other than yourself. Mind you, I only have it following me, so you can not see what I'm seeing, but you know, so you can see what is happening to me the whole time. But as you see here, there are plenty of clipping issues with the camera. Well, I wouldn't call them issues, but there's a problem sometimes when the character is hugged up against a wall that, like right there, you can't really see through it, you know, and the camera just clips into that, so you can miss some things, which I might have. I'm not too sure. I don't think I missed too much because I got a good feel for it early on. So, yeah. In the future, I'm gonna stick to just recording with my perspective, and pretty much this is reaching its end. Thank you. This has been Dar-Kage, and this is how my first game went.